Hey, what is up? So the last time I did an unboxing video, I kind of liked the response. I really appreciated the people who watched it. I kind of thought that these unboxing videos were kind of out of date and not really what people wanted to see anymore. But hey, I was glad for the response. I have a little spin on the holiday eggnog. Actually, I got this from another person on YouTube, my good friend Last Pharaoh out of Oklahoma, or no, Arkansas. I'm sorry, one of the two. I have trouble remembering. But anyway, he recommended I get on the nutmeg game. So pick some up, and you know what? It is good. I've had it a couple of times now, and it has really elevated the holiday nog. I don't really know how much to use. I think a little goes a long way, but that's probably plenty. Anyway, I got my own little take on it. A little creme and some cinnamon, and we will get going on these books. I did a relatively small Lone Star compared to the last time, but cheers. That's wonderful. The nutmeg, wow. Anyway, thanks again, Last Pharaoh. I'll provide a link to his channel. Amazing. Anything horror you'd want to see. Any of the collectibles. Vast movie knowledge. Great unboxings, too. I love his content. Alright, so I got this first one from, I don't know who. Oh, okay, now I know what this is. Okay, cool. Wow. These are some trades. I can actually show these really quick. These will not present in any trouble whatsoever to quickly show. So PGH Zombie had been sharing some, well, actually one specific book that kind of got me thinking. He shared Demon Annual 2, and what was interesting about that was it was the first appearance of Hitman, but it also got me thinking that, man, I would really like to have Garth Ennis, his work on Demon. So I went ahead and picked up the trades. Here is book 1, Demon Hell's Hitman. Got these all from one guy. They're in pretty nice condition. And here's book 2. Nice big DC trades from, if you remember that era, New 52 era, I believe. And he threw in this one, Hell is Earth. So, pretty cool. Yeah, getting all the Garth Ennis Demon stuff would have been a couple of $100, so I found the cheaper way. I don't know, I think maybe those Hitman books are about to pop. I remember you can get the entire run for like $50, basically $1 a book, and now I'm starting to see a little bit of a rise. So just to read those, it might be good to get on them, because I think Ennis has kind of proved himself as someone who can write stuff that works with other mediums. So this is a Lone Star. This is probably like the medium box. can't really remember everything I ordered from them this time. I sort of kept going back for more because it was a holiday weekend and I knew they wouldn't be in the office, so I kept adding to it, which is dangerous. Sometimes they won't see the additional orders and they'll end up shipping something real small separately. So like I said, it was dangerous. But I think everything basically came that was planned on. If I get another order with like one book in it, I'll know that I screwed the pooch. But let's see what these are. Don't really think I was after any runs or anything. I think I was just sort of doing that thing I do with Lone Star where I basically order anything I couldn't find somewhere else. So, get order statement out of the way. All right. Right over here. Does that work? Just about works. Okay. So talking about Ennis, Halloween came by, and I got to thinking, what was the scariest cover I can remember? And it had to be this Preacher issue 5. I remember when this came out, I took it to school and I was showing some of the other teenagers in math class, and they weren't impressed. I thought that some of the atrocities in here would at least raise an eyebrow, but I don't know. I guess 90s kids just weren't really easily scared. I love this story. I was so disappointed that there was nothing even remotely like this in the TV show. It was just kind of one of those books that I remember flipping through. I actually read this when I had the flu. I was, 14? And I just remember feeling more ill than I already was. So, yeah, there just wasn't, they didn't use this material at all on the show. And I always remember, man, this was the story of Preacher that just made me a fan. So I wanted to get this. Lone Star had it. Everything's kind of cooled off from the Preacher show. You know, everything that was marked up for Preacher is lower than it was before. Not that the show was bad, but what do you call it when something isn't overwhelming and isn't underwhelming? It just kind of sort of whelmed. And we'll just never get anything like this. They're not going to take another shot at it. Just Steve Dillon's pencil, his inks, his storytelling with Garth Ennis is just so impeccable. I love this story. I used to have all these. I actually had a script to Preacher. It was coming right to my house from DC. No bag and board, just a little envelope. They weren't folding it. And there was maybe just a flyer in there. And you know, it never really arrived like in just completely mangled condition. I was always happy enough with it. So anyway, yeah, real good book. Glad to have this. Glad to add it to the collection. Anyway, let's move that aside. What's the next book? A little more nog. I like it when they're putting the labels on the back. I can already tell that this one it's going to be up front. And this is Knocked Out. So this was another DC Vertigo book. I was kind of cover hunting this. I got this one because it's Brian Stelfreeze. It's one of the biggest regrets I have of going to cons was being at WonderCon, and Airborne and I were looking for Brian Stelfreeze, and we couldn't find him. He had his hip hop covers, and he had the hardcover also to have Stelfreeze sign on the interior. I think I had some Shadow of the Bat and maybe something else, but yeah, we looked high and low, but we couldn't find him. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but we'll catch him someday. Here we have. All right, I almost didn't get this one. Jennifer Blood cosplay cover 2. I almost didn't get it because I just figured this is just adult entertainment. But it was so cheap on Jennifer it was so cheap on lonestar.com. I said, you know what, I'll get one. I'm not going to say I don't like it. I just thought, is it comics? And I don't really know if it is or not, but I like it. So next one. I always try to get a bongo book every now and then. And let's take a look at this one. Kang and Kodos. I couldn't believe it. It was usually you cannot get like a nice bongo for much less than $10. It's just you have to compete with the Simpsons people. You have to compete with the Futurama people, the animation people. So you're not just talking about comic book collectors with this. I mean, not to mention all the people who still watch The Simpsons. Anyway, right here, let's just flip through this. Actually, kind of like the art. It's always precarious when they have to do some comic book shadowing, because it never looks very Simpsons. You know, it's not the cell shading. So to actually see a blackened in shadow, it never really looks very Simpsons art. But for comics, for Simpsons comics, I like this one. You know, I gotta say I love anything Treehouse of Horror. Now this guy doesn't look very good, but that's okay. You know, I read those Invader Zim comics, and some of them look a lot like the show. Some of them look like you just don't know. Oh wow, check that out. That's a real bumper sticker. It's nice that this wasn't taken out. That's real nice. They did some really cool stuff with the Futuramas. Some of them had full-sized, what do you call it? Blacklight posters folded up inside. Ma and Pa Kettle. Yeah, the end. So not too bad. I think this was like $2 on Lone Star, maybe $2.75, but you didn't have to tell me twice. So, yeah, you know, it feels good to get a bongo book. Sometimes I feel like I skim on those, but I'm building the collection slowly. The next book, Oh yeah, this is just a Vampirella 9. I broke my collection when I sent a friend of mine, Russell, Batcave Comics. I sent him what do you call it? A signed copy. So I needed one because I broke my collection by sending him one of my issues. Pick that up. Mike Mayhew cover. Regrets. Right here, this is Ninjas and Robots. One of my favorite books right now. I can't find it anywhere. This is Blink 182. What is this? The Enema of the State album? I'm not sure. But Eric Klaus. What is this? Issue 11. Excellent. I'll take a quick look at this, since that is kind of what we're doing today. Really, really appreciate you hanging out with me while I look at these books. I actually got 2 copies of this just because it is a really hard book to find and it's annoying. I don't know why I can't commit to making a pull list and adding this, but let's just flip through this. I love this artwork so much. It's just intoxicating what this guy does. Kind of reminds me, of so many different artists. Stan Sakai, Aragonis. I've mentioned Mahfood, Kevin Eastman, just all those, Keith Giffen. Boy, they're really nailing that album cover. Oh, okay, what is... They're getting shots. Okay. Fair play. I don't want to ignite a political commentary on it, but wow, I love the line work. Oh, sorry, I didn't know about that one. New book, just opened it, just breaking it in. This issue's a little rushed, but it still has some really nice pages. Hey, he's keeping on deadline, right? They can't all be like just splat art. So this is a new thing he's doing. Orange Blossom Monkey Clan. It's coming out in January. If I can't find the book we're flipping through, I really doubt I'm going to be able to find Orange Blossom Monkey Clan. I can just imagine myself asking a shop owner and having him repeat that title. Yeah. So, yeah, this was a very fine copy from lonestar. Probably just fine now that I've Orange Blossom Monkey Clan'd it. But yeah, let me get this one out of the way, as well as probably the next one. Very likely to be the same book. I just saw that Sopranos movie, The Many Saints of Newark, and I can't get that song out of my head by the Stones off the Aftermath album. Which track was it? Mother's Little Secret, or Mother's Little Keeper. Anyway. Oh, I got another one of those. $2. I thought in 50 years this will be worth at least $2. So hopefully. Deja Thoris. Alright, so more Codename Knockout. These for the Joe Chiato artwork. I think there's also a J. Scott Campbell cover on this little run. But I love Shadow's artwork, his painting. He's an accomplished colorist. He's been coloring books for about, 30 or 40 years, maybe more. But Lewis Small Jr., that name's familiar. I think I've met him before. Not sure. Yeah, Lewis Small Jr. I think he's done some Vampirella. Another Shadow. I wasn't positive if it was, but I looked at it and I thought it was him, so I picked it up. Is there any interest in seeing what this looks like on the inside? Let's see. I have no idea. I know roughly what 90s Vertigo artwork would be, but it's just a couple of pages. I don't know. Hopefully not too graphic. Already with the nakedness. one page in and there's naked. All right. 3. All right. Just they come in strong with the naked and yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, it's a Vertigo book. I love the cover. Code name. I mean, what am I expecting from that cover? But I thought there was a chance I could open it up without someone being laid out. So yeah, I think you saw that Vampirella. $2 for a Perillo cover, or under. I know it was under 3. So I really wasn't too much about this cover. I didn't especially like the Hellhound, but I thought she looked good enough to make it worth $2. So added that. Another one of those. Alright, so I got my nice House on the Left 5. I think I accidentally bought this one twice because I thought I was buying an issue 6. Yeah, I bought this one 2 times. So this is not a Shadow. This is not a Stell Freeze. I don't know who did this one, but I was sold. Saw this cover and I was like, all right, this one's coming home. Send it. This is a Brian Bolin book I can never find in the wild. Marvin 88 sent me one years ago, and I always wanted an extra copy. Batman Gotham Knights 15. And I went ahead and got another copy from Lone Star. I just think that's an amazing Ivy. I think there's just something so nice about it. All right, last book. I've been reading Lobo, and this is just an Action Lab Danger Zone book. I know Billy D. Williams, Billy D. of Lando Calrissian fame. I know he has something to do with this comic. I think they paid him to use his likeness. But I don't know. I collect a lot of different kind of covers. I collect crucifixion covers. I collect profile covers. This just happens to be a urinal cover. A urinal scene cover. So hopefully I don't get too deep into this genre because I know how that one ends. But I thought this was just hilarious. Especially after reading all that Lobo stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching. That eggnog is long gone, and that was my last one, so I better lay off that. But just really, really quick, let's just see what's going on in this here. I love John McCrae's art. I have maybe 15 issues maybe 20 of Hitman. And this actually predates it by a couple years. This looks like just really good 90s DC to me. The next thing I'm kind of after is I want that 90s Kelly Jones Dead Man run. I'd probably just get a trade of that too. But I think I'm just going to leave that one to maybe find in a wild. I think that's pretty easy to find. This artwork is kooky. Yeah. It's kind of artwork I sort of associate with Grant Morrison too. I've always just leaned towards the cartoony artwork. Even, in video games, I preferred cartoony style of art. Well, this is going to be violent. Wow. There's the man. Hitman. Tommy Monahan. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard it before, but I think that character's got something cooking. I don't know. I'm not really too positive. I think I missed the boat though. Read in Hitman. What the hell? He left a little post-it. Read in Hitman. I guess that was just a little note to himself. At least it didn't say, Rig, I'm coming to get you. Wow. I've never experienced that, where I come up on someone else's little cliff notes. Read in Hitman. I don't know what that means. Anyway, thanks for watching. Everyone take care, and yeah, keep on doing what you're doing. You're on the right track, and your collection's growing, and you're fighting the good fight, reading comic books and staying out of trouble. Can't beat that. Note to self. All right.